DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This video is for the sports parents or the parents of athletes or would-be athletes, or you parents who maybe you don't want to say it out loud, but you want your child to be an athlete, but they don't seem to quite, it's not really turning over the way that you want it to. I want to have a conversation with you all in this video right here, because I hear from a lot of parents and I'm talking about parents of athletes who are, let's say, 13 to 21 range. Usually it doesn't, even up to 21, I hear from parents who want to help their kid, get to that next level, go wherever they want to go. But the problem is the child doesn't seem to really have the mentality that the parent is pretty sure they're going to need in order to get wherever they want to go. The child doesn't seem to, I'm talking to the parents here, your child just doesn't seem to have that mentality where they really want to go get it. Like, they're not working out as much as they probably could be working out. They're not taking advantage of the resources that you as a parent are providing them. You're like, yo, I'll take you to the gym, I'll take you to practice, I'll get you on whatever team, I'll pay for a gym membership and whatever, but your child's playing video games or hanging out with their friends, or not really putting as much effort into it as whether you were an athlete yourself, parent, or maybe you've seen some athlete, or maybe you watch some YouTube videos and you hear somebody such as myself talking about these things, or you read a book about some athlete who made it somewhere, quote unquote, and how they did it, and you're looking at them, and then you're looking at your child and you're like, all right, my kid's not really doing that, and they need to step their shit up if they're gonna get to this level, but they're not doing it. So you're frustrated in a way because you know that your child may have the talent, maybe the opportunity's there, but the child doesn't seem to get it in their mind what it's gonna take. They don't really understand what it's gonna take, and they're not gonna understand because they haven't been through it yet. And you wanna know how you can help them get it. You wanna know how you can help them get that mindset to do what they really need to do to at least maximize their talent. Now, maybe they're not that good. Maybe when they maximize their talent, they'll realize, damn, maybe I'm not as good at this game as I thought I was, and they don't go any further than high school. Maybe they don't go any further than a D2 college. Maybe they don't get to that level, but at least they maxed out and they found out. But your concern is, parent, that the child's never gonna max out because they're not doing the stuff that they're supposed to be doing. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this specific issue is because I've had conversations online, virtually, and in person with parents who have this exact challenge. So I'm gonna tell you some things that you need to understand out there, parents. Number one is that it's a rare breed of athlete who has both the talent, and I'll use talent and potential interchangeably here, meaning that they have all this ability that's like natural God-given ability to actually, where they could actually go somewhere, and they have the mentality, the want to actually make it happen. They got the ability and they got the mentality at the same time. It's very rare you're going to have a kid who has both. There are a lot of kids out there who have the mentality. A lot of them are in my audiences, whether that be my podcast, YouTube videos, whether it was back in the day, nowadays, whatever. A lot of kids have that want to. They want to do it. They work out every day. They're doing all the drills. They even invest in themselves. They buy programs, hire trainers, go to gyms, do everything that they can do to get the most out of their games. But their problem is they're really just not that talented. The ceiling on their game is just not that high. So even when they maximize it, the furthest they're gonna go is maybe playing on some club basketball team, or maybe they can make a team at a D3, maybe a D2, and sit on the bench. And that's pretty much all they're gonna do because they just don't have it. Everybody ain't got it. And I don't care how hard you work, and I know there's a lot of motivational material out there these days of people talking about when they reach success, how hard they worked and how they grinded and got up early and they outlasted people with more talent. Listen, you can take in all that motivational stuff that you want, players out there. Some people just have more talent than you. They just have it. They just have material that you don't have, and no matter how hard you work, you will not be able to outdo that. That's just the truth. Now, again, you could take whatever motivational speaker told you something different and run with it if you want to, but it's just what it is. That doesn't mean that you got to quit what you're doing. It just means you got to find the right things. Everybody has talent. So that's one side of it, parents, that some people have the mentality, but they don't have the tools, or enough of the tools, and there are other people who got all these tools, but they don't really have the mentality. And when you find that perfect, that combination, when you get it right, that's a rare thing. All right, so don't think that there's something wrong with your child or something wrong with you or something wrong with their opportunities if they don't seem to be finding that magic. That magic here is where you get a Magic Johnson, like back in the day, man. I didn't even see Magic. This is where you get a LeBron James or a Kobe Bryant or someone who has all those tools and they really put the work in at the same time. Even someone who kind of people don't really realize it till a little bit later would be like a Stephen Curry, where people knew he was good, but he was playing at a lower level, at least according to what usually produces NBA players, a lower level school that doesn't produce a lot of pros. People said he's good, but can he really do it at the highest level? And then he ended up doing it. So he had the tools there. People didn't really realize it until, for him, at least according to the average NBA star later. But then a guy like Kobe or LeBron, where it's like, damn, everybody knows way back. Ain't too many of those. And your child out there you want them to get that mentality. You want them to really bring it. You want them to really lock in. Here's the other thing you need to understand, parent, is that they got to take ownership. You can't own it. Now, I don't have children, but I was actually talking to my girl about this yesterday. If I had a son, let's say, and he wanted to play basketball, or at least he was into basketball, let's say, he had shown some interest, I would probably be one of y'all. Like I'm gonna get him a gym membership, or I'm gonna take him to the courts. I'm gonna show him all the drills. I'm gonna make him watch my videos. I'm gonna be trying to teach him everything because I want him to do it. If he gonna do it, like, yo, everything that I didn't have when I was growing up hooping, I'm gonna make sure he has it, so he doesn't have anything that I had to deal with. If I was just without the resource, he not gonna have that problem. That's the way I would be thinking. And I run into a lot of parents who are thinking the exact same way. Like, all right, I didn't have this, and this, but my kid's gonna have this. But the problem is, your kid doesn't want it the way that you wanted it back then, but you didn't have the tools. They got the tools, but they don't have the mentality. So now you like, shit, and that they not really doing it with what I'm giving them. I want you to understand is they gotta take ownership. You can't own it. And I was telling a parent just a couple weeks ago that it's basically like a business partnership. And that business, for you to do what you want to do as a player, is 100%. And a parent can't come any more than 49%. Not 50-50, 49-51. That's the most you can give as a parent. If you're a parent out there and you got a kid, you want them to really do their thing in a sport, you cannot give more than 49% of the effort required for them to make it. Wherever making it is for you, whether that's college, get a scholarship, go to the pros, you can't give them, you can't get more than 49%. The 51%, they gotta give. And here's the thing, if and when they ever get to that 51%, you gotta keep taking away from your 49. Go down to 40 and they gotta give 60. Go down to 30, they gotta give 70. Go down to 20 and you understand until they got it 100% and you can just step out of the picture and be a fan. At some point, they gotta take 100% ownership. Now, ideally, they take 100% from the beginning and you ain't gotta do nothing. But these days, from what I've heard, that's not happening too often with too many parents. Or maybe I'm only hearing from the parents who have this challenge, because the kids who are taking 100%, they ain't got no problem. So they don't reach out to people like me because they don't need to. Nothing's missing. For me, when I was growing up and I decided that I wanted to play basketball, or when I really started to take it serious and practice every day and all that, my parents never gave that 100%, they never gave any. They was at 0 the whole time. And it was like, all right, if you're gonna play ball, and we never even had a conversation, let alone was there, I asked them or they asked me, it was, okay, if you're gonna play ball, this is me talking to myself, I'm gonna have to go do it. There was my parents never said, all right, well, we'll get you a trainer, or we'll get you access to a gym, or we'll buy you some extra pair of sneakers, or we'll buy you a basketball. Those conversations never happened and those things never took place. I had to take 100% ownership from the gate. Now, I was fortunate enough, and I worked hard enough. I was fortunate enough, first of all, that I had some tools. Now, I was tall, I had the physical makeup for it, and I was able to, I believe, maximize my abilities and become an international professional basketball player. But a lot of players don't get that far. Some players maximize in his college. Some players maximize in his high school. And that's all right if they're able to maximize. Now, a person like me, again, where I come from, and a lot of parents that I talk to, came from situations where nobody was giving you any of that 100. So if you were gonna get to 100, it had to be all by you, by yourself. But now, of course, you wanna give your kid a better opportunity than what you had. So you're trying to give as much as you can for the kid, but they seem to not be meeting you even at halfway, let alone any more than half of the way. Excuse me, again, they gotta take it though. If they don't take it, then they just don't get it. And that's something that I tell people, when I hear from people who say often, because I played basketball overseas, so people ask me about playing ball overseas. I want to help my friend. I want to help my boyfriend. I want to help my husband. I want to help this kid that I know from the neighborhood play overseas, and I'm trying to get the information that he's not doing what he's supposed to do. But how can I help him, Dre? Can you give me the information? Can you tell me what I need to tell him? I'm telling you, parents, the same thing I tell those people who want to help somebody be successful. Like, any of you ever known somebody, you want to help them be successful, but they seem to not be taking ownership of it, and you're trying to kind of push them and do everything you can to position them for success. I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing I tell those people, is that you can't own it for them, and you can't want it for somebody else more than they want it for themselves. And whether that's your son, your daughter, your best friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, one of your students, some kid that you mentor in the neighborhood, you can't want it for them more than they want it. If they don't want it, then they just ain't getting it. And it has to come a point where you step back. Again, 49, 51 is the most you should be coming, and that's if you're a parent. If you're anything less than a parent, 30% is the most you should be getting. If they don't want to step up and take ownership of the rest of that, then they don't want it. And it's just not going to be for them. And I know it's frustrating for you, and it may be even heartbreaking for you if you love that person, that they have all this potential and you see the opportunity and you see the things that they could do, but they don't want to take ownership of it. Then sometimes in life, many times in life, you just gotta let them fall by the wayside. They just gotta die on the side of the road. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, it's a graphic visual that I'm giving you, but that's how it is. And if they don't want to own it, you can't do nothing about that. And as a parent, I mean, you think about it. If it wasn't sports, would you even care that much? If it was a different thing other than sports, would you even be thinking about it or be as frustrated about it? It's usually sports that I hear it, of course, in sports, as I played sports. But I wouldn't think, if it was something else that my kids said, I want to be a lawyer, there's only so much I can do. You know what I mean? They got to go to school and take those classes. I can't take them for you. I can't sit in that lecture hall. I can't study the notes. I can't take the test. I can't pass the bar. You got to do that. They got to own that way more than in sport. In sports, you can get involved a whole lot. In a whole lot of other areas of life where your child says they want to be successful, there's only so much you can do even if you wanted to. But in sports, is just the one place where the parent can be all in it. You know, they can be I'm missing the word there's a word that's slipping my mind right now. But you could be all in the mix. But in anything else, my kid want to be a doctor or a lawyer. What am I gonna do? A rapper? What am I gonna do? You got to get in that studio. You got to write raps every day. You got to read those textbooks and study for those tests. They got to do it. So you need to step back, parents, and if they gonna do it, then you can have a conversation with them. You can tell them I said it. You could just take this and say it yourself. Look, I'm gonna give you 49%, and if you don't take that 51 within the next year, I'm good. I'm dropping my 49 down to 40. You can change it to a month. Listen, I'm giving you 49%. If I don't see you giving 51%, for the next 30 days, I'm dropping down to 40%. And then it's going to 30, 20, 10, and 0. And if you do nothing, then 6 months from now, then I guess you're done with basketball, and that's that. You got to be willing to have that conversation and let them know this is what it is. If you're serious about it, don't tell me you're serious. Don't talk about being serious. It should be obvious that somebody's serious about doing something without you having to say something. And if you got to have a conversation about whether somebody's serious or not, they ain't serious. You already knew that, didn't you? So I'm going to stop it right there. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.